What's up, Hector?
I'm sorry. Oh, yes, I am on mute. I am. I said a lot of things. Anyway, here we go. This is the first time I ever did that ever happened. Anyway, now I'm going to introduce you to Marie. I'm all messed up because of Marie. Anyway, you're listening to the What the Heck Show here on Union Power Radio. It's February 18, 2024. And I do this every other Sunday. We're going to be talking about IBT. So if you guys didn't hear me from before, I want to introduce Marie. Is not a Teamster. She's just gonna be here to answer, to read out all the questions from the YouTube because I can't do everything. I got so many screens in front of me, and I can't just. So when anyone asks a question in the YouTube or the Mixler, she will be, putting up her red flag and saying, "Hey, I got a question to ask." Which is good for everyone to listen to the questions. But so let's introduce her again. Marie, you can't. So
Can you hear me?
hold on a second. Go ahead.
Hi, can you
Yeah,
hear me?
yeah,
Okay,
okay.
great. All right. Again, well, thank you for allowing me to moderate the audience questions. I'm looking forward to the experience and certainly from reading off these questions.
Very good. So you can't see her. She don't have a camera. She's in the back there somewhere. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about the IBT and local and some stuff that goes on around the local and IBT. Now, of course, in the past couple of shows, we talked about Sean O'Brien having a meeting with Trump, and a lot of Teamsters not liking the fact that he's having a conference with Trump, and I don't like it myself. But anyway, I asked him because I wanted him to come on the show, and Marie, can you get that? So Sean O'Brien replied back to a message that I sent him about the Trump thing, and Marie's gonna read out what he wrote out on to me about what I asked him. Okay, so you can't turn it up now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, he basically responded and he said, I'm sorry you feel the way that you do, but we have met with every candidate so far and waiting on a date to meet with Biden. As you know, the way we get accurate answers, whether you like someone or not, is to meet. I know it's easy to judge. Who will not
Go ahead.
there are members who will not be happy when we meet with Biden, as well as those that, are not happy when we meet with Trump. But we as leaders, we owe it to the members who vote on both sides of the aisle. Remember one thing, a meeting does not guarantee anything for anyone. Unfortunately, I will be on the plane tomorrow evening, but as you know, I would love to be on your show anytime, my friend. I hope this helps clear up any confusion regarding our meeting.
So we're having a little bit of an audio problem, but we're gonna fix that right away. So that was Sean O'Brien texting me, telling me about how because I texted him, told him how I felt about Trump, the union buster, being in our hall, and I didn't like it at all. And he sent me that text message saying that a lot of people don't agree and agree because we have some Teamsters that are Trump people, but I feel like I don't I don't trust the man. I don't. He's a union buster. If it was up to him, like I said it before, he'll put all the states as right to work, and that's what will bring the unions down completely. Even though we'll see what happens. But anyway, a lot of other stuff is going on. I asked also John Palmer to get on the What the Heck show here on Union Power Radio. Um, he did reply, and we need answers of what happened in that IBT with John Palmer and the IBT, that he's not longer a organizer and he's sitting on the bench. And that's what I would like to know. And I guess a lot of members would like to know also. All right, we're going to talk about Local 804. We having a lot of difficulties with disciplines here, and you guys got to get your shit together really, because I'm a business agent and I deal with a lot of stuff, and one of the deals that I'm dealing with now that peak is over is sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is a big thing here in anywhere, and you could be in local 804, local 177. It could be everywhere, but we have to be aware of what our rights are, and our rights is not to be a nasty driver to a female helper. You got to respect the female helper like she's your daughter or your sister or your mother. You got to respect her. And now that it's February now, but I've been on a case now for sexual harassment, and it makes me want to throw up when I hear the driver, what he says to a female helper. And you guys got to be aware that you have to respect those helpers 100%. Like you look at them like it's your daughter, your mother, your sister, your aunt, your grandmother. You got to respect them. Simple as that. And if you don't, you're going to get into a lot of shit, which a lot of shit is happening right now. So, and I don't want to be in the office trying to defend you saying some foul bullshit to a female that you shouldn't be. It's not your job. Your job is to deliver and make sure she's on the truck, off and on the truck safely. And that's your job throughout the day. You give her the packages, she delivers them, she comes back, she makes sure the seatbelt's on when you're driving off. That's your job. And the conversation shouldn't be any further than the job. If she has a boyfriend, you shouldn't ask that. It's none of your business. If she has a boyfriend, if she has a husband, she have kids, that's none of your business. Your business is to tell her to make sure that she used the 3 points of contacts to get off the truck, make sure she delivers the package, make sure she's put on the seatbelt when she gets on. And that goes on for a guy also, a helper, even though peak season's over, but I'm talking about it because I always do it. I always talk about it in parking lot meetings before peak season to make everyone aware of what the consequences will be. And the consequences will be this: if a helper puts in a report of you sexual harassing or sex or whatever, saying bogying things on her, saying whatever you is not supposed to talk about, it's going to be put out there because all you have to do, all she has to do, or he or whatever has put a report against you. And then you're in the office answering to these questions, answering to these allegations, actually. And then you're going to have to speak on it. And if she writes a statement or he writes a statement against you, it's your word against his word. And normally they're going to go with the helper because if the helper say things and has evidence of recording or whatever the case may be. So you got to be careful out there, guys, with that when the next peak season comes through. All right. This fucking company is such a piece of shit because a snowstorm, it was a little bit of a snowstorm this week that just passed by. It wasn't a big, crazy snowstorm that it was like 10 feet of snow. But it was an inconvenience for a lot of drivers, and a lot of drivers, A, live an hour and a half away. B, they have kids that they put in daycare, and the daycare closed down or the school closed down, so they had to do what they had to do to maintain their family and maintain their safety to get to work. I'm not saying that, hey, don't come to work because it's snow out there. It's just that if some certain situation occurs to certain members that they can't leave to go to work because they don't have anyone to take care of their kids or they don't have anyone to, or they can't get to work because they don't have a four-wheel drive or whatever the case may be. But this fucking piece of shit company decided very next day after Tuesday, when that little snowstorm, pull everybody in the office for attendance because a lot of people banged out and they were going, before they didn't bring them into the office for attendance before, but because they banged out on that snow day, the very next day they had a line outside. And I was in the Bronx. And the Bronx already had a problem early in the morning. At 5 o'clock in the morning, all the computers went dead in UPS, and they was trying to find out what happened. They couldn't do anything with the packages. They couldn't scan any packages. They couldn't do anything. So the company was on hold from 5 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the morning. That's how long it took them to realize what was the problem in the facility. So with that said, you know, they already messed up and they were messed up in the building and they still had a line outside the door for discipline, bringing guys in attendance. Now, let me talk to you about attendance. See, a lot of people don't know the attendance of the physical year. It's every physical year. So today is February 18, 2024. So what you do is if you call out sick today, the day drops next year this day. That's how you calculate your days that you don't want to go crazy on your attendance. So the guys that they were bringing into the office, even though their attendance wasn't that bad, it became bad because the company was pissed off that you didn't come in on a snowy day. They were pissed off that you have kids. They were pissed off that you don't have a four-wheel. This is what the company does because they don't understand people have lives and people have kids. So if it was me, also if I had a kid and the daycare closed or the school closed and I didn't have nobody to watch, I'm gonna take care of my kid. I'm not gonna go to work and I'm gonna take the day off. But they brung everybody in. I'm rebutting all those warning letters. If anybody's listening, I'm rebutting all those warning letters because I'm gonna put down retaliation because they called out on a snow day, and let the company deal with that rebuttal in the future. But anyway, a lot of guys are getting into office for a lot of stupid shit. Signing packages. That's another topic. And you're not allowed to sign packages. It's the methods and procedures, even though you know the customer for fucking 30 years and the customer says, just sign off on it. No, because even though they won't say nothing now, and if they looking to do something to you or looking for, and this is what the company does, they always look for stuff. Because if they can't get you on this, they're going to get you on that. And that's what they do. So they start looking to see if you've been doing this, signing a line right through the diet board, and then they're gonna look and look and look, and if they want you, they're gonna pull you in the office, and then they're gonna ask you the questions, and then you're gonna admit that you're doing this because the customer you know for 30 years or 50 years or 100 years, whatever the case may be, they're not gonna care about that. They're not gonna care about you knowing the customer, you doing a favor for the customer. They're not gonna care about that. They're gonna care about falsifying your company records. Then they're gonna tell you you're gonna be on a non-worker set for prove in dishonesty, proven in dishonesty. That means that you told them that you're doing it. So now it's proven dishonesty. That means they put you on a non-working 72. And then they pull up all the records, it could be this big, this small, whatever the case may be. And then they go after you for that reason. You could be the best driver in the world, but if they wanted you on that, and this is what the company does. They fucking piece of shit company that they always tell me when they get into a hearing, we're not in the business to terminate anybody. We're here to fix the behavior. I said, okay, so why you not fixing this behavior then? Why you didn't give him a warning letter so he could stop doing what he's doing instead of going directly into discharge for dishonesty? They don't do, see, they full of shit. They ass backwards. They always do shit backwards. So if you would give a guy a warning letter for, hey, can't sign off on the packages, don't do it anymore. And slap him in the hand and tell him don't do it no more. And if he continues doing it, then you have a case. But if you're just gonna bring him in the office and just discharge him for something that is brand new to everyone, maybe not brand new to the driver because he's been doing it for a while, but give him a chance to fix himself. If you're here to fix the behavior, then let's start it off with discipline, the grievance, the discipline procedures, which is a warning letter, a 1-day suspension, a 3-day suspension, a 5-day suspension, a notice of discharge, and then discharge. So they got 6 chances to fix themselves. And you're here to say that that you're not here to terminate anyone, but you're here to fix the behavior. So you fix the behavior that way. Go ahead, Marlon, you want to talk about it? I can't hear you. So let me tell you how small this world is. Marlon over here is from 177. Right? I can't hear you. You're on mute. He's from 177. He's across the river from us in 804. And one day he sends me a picture of him and my nephew. And I was like, what the fuck? How you know this guy? But anyway, Marlon, you wanted to talk about this?
I didn't raise my hand, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's okay. I do believe.
I got a note and says Marvin wants to talk about this. What's going on here? And
Oh, really?
I guess not. I guess you guys got a little thing going on. But anyway, what's up, Marlon? What's going on?
How are you? All right.
My nephew house yesterday all day. So now
Oh,
I
nice.
figured out how you involve your cousins to the cousins or the cousins to the whatever.
Yes.
All right, cool. Nice to have you on. So more of the discipline I'm going to be talking about because this is getting ridiculous. The layoffs are getting ridiculous here in Local 804. And we also have change of operations going on here in Local 804. We haven't sat down with the company yet, but we can almost figure out what's going to happen here in Local 804. So let me let you guys know. So the rumor has it, and I got my intel from somebody that knows what the hell is going on. So we have a change of operations for the whole local here in 804. So the change of operation, if you guys don't know what it means, that means that the company is going to do changes in their operation, and they have to tell us within 45 days that they're going to do a change of operations, which then they are going to do it regardless. You know, it's not for us, the union, to stop doing what they're doing. They're going to do it. They just have to have a plan and see that it doesn't affect the members. So that's what it's called, change of operations. So they're going to do whatever they're going to do with their operations. The union cannot stop. Remember, the union cannot stop it. All they're going to do is explain to us what their plans are. And if it affects the members, then we have a say-so into that change of operations. If it affects the members, that's when we have a say-so. So the company has a change of operations here in Local 804 that's happening soon. They're waiting on Vinny to set up the meeting. Once they set up the meeting, then we sit down with the company and then they explain to us what they're going to do. They could do anything they want, it just as long as it doesn't affect the members. Remember that. So the rumor has it, and I got it from a good source, that they're going to close down 2 buildings in Local 804. One of the buildings they're going to be closing down is Manhattan North. That's on 138th Street, which is a one center building. And then the next one, I believe they said, is going to be Queens North, which is another one center building in Queens, which I think they're going to throw that building into Metro Queens and Maspeth, or they're going to mix it up, whatever. And Metro and Manhattan North, I believe they're going to be closing down, and it's going to be some Bronx routes going into Brush in the Bronx, and then some other routes that on Manhattan are going into 43rd Street. So like I said, that's what I heard from a good source. We haven't had the change of operations yet. When we do, I'm sure Vinny's going to put it out there what they are going to do, or how they're going to do it. And that's what's going on here with these layoffs. Now, layoff language is Article 13, Section 9. Guys, you got to read that article because you get all bent out of shape when you're getting laid off. And another thing I want to talk about layoffs. If they lay you off, it goes from the bottom of the pot. I mean, if you have a seniority of 2022, you're the bottom of the pot. Pot. It is what it is. It's seniority, and seniority rules over that. No matter how you come to work every day, but seniority rules. When it's a layoff, it starts from the bottom and it works its way up. But when you take a layoff, listen, we have an article that protects you. It's to make you 8 hours. It's not like you're getting laid off and you're not going to work, because in any other company besides Teamsters, if you don't have a union, in any other company, they'll lay you off and then they'll call you when they need you. They'll call you 3, 4, 5 months from now and say, hey, you want to come back to work to this company. So with the union, the layoff, when you get laid off, you have the options. You have 3 options. Option number 1 is to take a split shift. You could bump 2 part-time workers, one from the preload and one from the local sort. So you do 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the evening, and then you have your 8 hours. You have the second one, which is 4.5 hours. Now, I don't recommend anyone doing the 4.5 hours. I recommend you guys doing the split shift, because it's 8 hours, and then with 8 hours, you contribute to your pension. With 4.5 hours, you're not going to contribute to your pension. So if you do all these 4.5 hours, and you could do it for a while, and you're not making your contributions to the pension. So that means that if you're not doing your 8 hours a day and you're doing 4.5 hours, that means that every hour that you didn't work, when you're ready to retire in 25 years, you got to make up that time. You got to make up that time, just like comp. You got to make up that time. If you're out for comp for 2 years, you got to make up that time when you're ready to retire to get the full pension. So don't put yourself out there that you just want to work 4.5 hours. Take the 8 hour. You're afforded the 8 hours. I mean, I know it sucks that you got to come in here at 4 o'clock in the morning, work till 4, and then go home, and then come back at 6 at night to work till 10 o'clock or whatever the case may be to make that 4 hours. I know it sucks. It sucks. And if we had any control of it, the union, you wouldn't be laid off. But we don't. The company has that operation rights. If they have no volume, then they have to lay off. Now, the company fucked up with these drivers that they're laying off, because during the pandemic, they hired way too many drivers. Way too many drivers. They hired about 700 drivers. not expecting the volume was going to go down. All they was thinking about is the pandemic. They need the drivers. They need those packages pushed out. That's what they did. So they hired, and people were making book left and right. They were making book. They was on getting into the 40 days, union. They were making book. They even had accidental helpers. That guys were a preload that was going as helpers, and during the pandemics, they made a 40/70 and accidentally became a full-time helper because the company fucked up. So now the company is fucking fucked up because now the volume is down. They have these too many drivers out there right now. So now they got to cut. And of course, you hear it in the news that they cut in 12,000 UPSs, but that's not Teamsters. That's 12,000 management people. If you listen to her, that they're giving them a servant's pay or stock options, we're not getting none of that stuff. That's all management stuff. So they are cutting down and buying out management. They're cutting down 12,000 jobs from management. So once they do that cutting from 12,000, they're going to cut now into the union. See who's going to lay off, what ways they're going to cut stuff. So here we are with the operations, the change of operations. The change of operation comes into play now. So now because they are cutting so many things off, now they are going to cut buildings off. And we have 17 buildings, and now cutting 2 buildings off, we're going to have 15 buildings. So like I said, we don't know for sure. I got it from a good source in upper management that they are going to go that route. And until it's confirmed, until we have the meeting with the union and Vinny set up the meeting with the change of operation, and then that's when we'll know exactly what they're going to do. They saying the change of operation for all 17 buildings. So it's going to be some crazy shit going on that we don't know. But as far as the big news is that that they're going to be closing down 2 buildings in Local 804. And it is what it is, but that's the operations under Article 17. We can't tell them how to run the operation as a union. They can only tell us what they're going to do. And if it affects the membership, and then we have an argument. Because if it's going to affect, what's up, Marlon? Hello?
Hi, I want to piggyback on that.
Mhm.
The change of operations is the way to get rid of people as well. Because now you live 10, 15 minutes from the building that you're currently working, and now they're going to move you an hour away, so they know that there's going to be a lot of people quitting.
Exactly.
So that's one way that they're going to get back at us.
Right.
And also the biggest problem that we had was our ninth CEO. When she stopped picking up volume from our big shippers. Remember, like 3 Christmases ago? Not bigger, but better,
Right.
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And it's crazy that, and in the language here, as far as layoff. So we have car washers and clerks layoff also. And, I don't get it. I really don't get it, because to me, if I was a clerk, and I'm just speaking because I'm just my opinion only. If I'm a clerk getting laid off and I have 26 years on the job, I'm getting laid off. They give me an opportunity to work across town, whatever. I'm working in Manhattan, and there's a position in Mount Vernon. I'm gonna go to that Mount Vernon so I can continue supporting my family. You have clerks now that are getting laid off and refuse with their seniority to go to another building. And then it goes down to the next guy, and then the next guy refuses. And by the time it gets down to whoever has like 9 years on the job, they're taking it, because the young people are saying, "I'll work wherever they sent me to. I don't care as long as I'm making my pay." I just don't get it. I don't get that, that you don't want to take the job you're getting paid the 40 hours in another building. You just got to travel now. And I get, sometimes I get it because you got to pay tolls or whatever the case may be. But it is what it is. If you want to support your family and they're giving you the opportunity not to lay you off, and you're going to be displaced, you're considered displaced, take the opportunity that they're giving you. If they're giving to you something in Yorktown, take it. Go to Yorktown. It's going to be a little drive, but they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. And then what happens is the young guys get that position. And then they're saying, hey, I want to put in the grievance. No, they gave you the opportunity. You refused the opportunity. Now the less seniority person took the opportunity.
Right.
So, yeah.
They have to make sure too that, well, I mean, it's not guaranteed, but it's not going to be a forever thing. Volume is going to come eventually back up, and those jobs will become available again. And if you have a high seniority, you're going to go back to where you were, or have a
That's
better
correct.
option. So
That's correct. So, here in Local 804, they laid off 13 feeder drivers, and as of this week, 5 are going back to feeders. And they say it's probably going to be a back and forth type of thing because depending now, there's a lot of vacations coming, so they're going to need more feeder drivers or whatever the case would be. But at least that the feeder drivers, they get a place to go back to if they get laid off from feeders. They go back to the center to where they were packaged car driver, and they become packaged car drivers until they need, you back in feeders. So at least they doing that, but these clerks and these car washers that are getting laid off, because I always tell when I go into buildings and I see car washes sitting or a clerk doing nothing and just sitting there, the company's watching this. The IT guy is watching this. So if you're not doing anything in between whatever time, they're gonna start cutting stuff down. They're gonna start because, and then the clerks, when they need you on Saturdays or they need you to stay a little longer to finish up on certain things, they see those things. They're gonna say, "Well, we don't need an AM clerk because the PM clerk is getting rid of it." And then Saturday clerks, they're pushing everything for Monday. So whatever clerks stuff are coming in on Saturday, they're not having a clerk there at all. And then on Monday, that morning clerk does all the Saturday work plus whatever is in the morning. So they pushing all that work. This is what the company does. Saturdays. It's the biggest fucking crazy fuck up here because we have guys that are coming in on 6-day punch on Saturdays. So the company decided they're going to push a lot more work out on Saturday. And what happens to that when you push out a lot of work on Saturday? Monday's dead, Tuesday's dead, Wednesday's dead. And that's when it comes to layoffs. Okay, because the Tuesday to Saturday guys, they work on Saturday and then they're off on Sunday, Monday. And then when it comes to Tuesday for them, it's going to be no work for them because all that work was pushed on Saturday. So I tell you guys, listen, I know some people live a different means than others and they want to make more money, but you got to think about the future of being a Teamster and being a union guy. You got guys getting laid off because you're coming in on a 6-day punch. You're not contributing to the pension on your overtime. You're just making it your hours up on Saturday that you're pushing out work that the company wants to push out. Some guys, if you come up to me and you say, hey, I need money, I need to work, I got it. All good. Come to work if you need the money. But if you're doing 3 hours, 4 hours, and not doing the 8 hours and you're doing actual, what money do you need? Because by the time you get up in the morning on your day off, brush your teeth, get ready to go to work. If you live an hour away from the center, you're driving an hour to get there, you're getting aboard, you're doing 2 hours worth of work, and then you're going back home. Is that worth it? To me, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. If you're going to need money, then stay the whole 8 hours. I guarantee you the company won't allow you to stay the whole 8 hours. But you're doing this on, this actual time for 3 or 4 hours, which you're killing this whole system because the company says I got 38 routes on Saturday. I have Tuesday to Saturday. I have 37 Tuesday to Saturday coming, and then you get 6 or 7 6-day punch guys coming in. They're going to use them because they're going to push out more work on Saturday. And when they push out more work, you're going to be dead on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You got to look out for your brothers and sisters that are getting laid off. Stop coming. If you don't need to come in on Saturday, take your day off. Take 2 consecutive days off. I don't know how you guys do it that have 1 day off and then come back to work on Monday. I don't know how you do it. I need 2 days off. I need more than 2 days off. And if you have 2 days off to take off, then take those 2 days off. Simple as that. You know, Vinny at the general membership meeting says anyone that comes in on a 6-day punch is not a Teamster. It's not a union brother. It is what it is. You're not a union brother if you're coming in on a 6-day punch. Anyway, any questions going on here? Nobody's talking. Nobody's saying anything.
No, not really. Not many questions, more comments. You had a comment here from Jose. Said last year, most of the Anaheim Twilight clerks were sent back to the hub. We have Marlon who just posted a statement saying people need to start following methods. We're cutting our own throats.
Yep.
So a lot of comments, not necessarily questions.
Yeah. Well, today, I think TDU has something going on here in Queens. I wasn't there, and I won't be there ever. I think James Holligan, I think you went there, didn't you? Jamie, come on and play.
No, I didn't go. I didn't go today.
You didn't go to TDU meeting today in Queens? Wow.
Nah.
Hell is gonna freeze over.
But I do have something to say.
For real? You have something to say? I don't. Go ahead.
You were speaking about people. You know, the things that people are getting called into the office for. There's a new thing that what's going on is anytime members are sheeting up a package as a clerk package, or when they miss a pickup, that's giving the company the opportunity to go and look into your files or your record. A lot of members seem to be scanning commercial packages as residential, meaning they're scanning them as need apartment or no such person or whatever the case. For whatever reason, I'm assuming they just want to get in early, but they're getting caught now. So
that's what the company's doing right now, Jamie. They looking for stuff for you to mess up. So listen, I always tell all my guys, listen, the company has, and not to be freaking violent or anything like that, but they carry around a empty gun. They got a gun with no bullets in it. You, the members, are the ones who's giving them the bullets to shoot. And then when they have the opportunity to shoot, they're going to shoot. They're going to shoot right after your job. They're going to look for you. They're going to look behind. They're going to look at the records. They're going to see what you're doing, extending lunch. Guys, you got to stop extending lunch, and you got to take your lunch, what the contract says, the third or fifth hour. In our supplements is from 12 to 3. So you got to finish lunch by 3 o'clock. If you take lunch from 12 to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or half an hour instead of the 2:30, 1:30 to 2:30, whatever, as long as you finish lunch at 3 o'clock. And when you finish lunch at 3 o'clock, you got to be, in the area. You can't go and say, okay, I'm going to go to McDonald's 30 blocks away. I'll put lunch over there, and then I'll put lunch when I get back. That's stealing time. That's extending your lunch, okay? Because they go by your last delivered package. Once you go do your last delivered package, you go to your truck, you check your stuff, make sure everything's secure, put lunch. You're on your way. Shouldn't be going to your house the next route. You shouldn't be going far away. Go nearby. Go up the block. There's something else. It's got to be something in your route that you can eat instead of driving 10 blocks or 30 blocks away to go to McDonald's or White Castle, whatever the hell you want to go. Hello?
Yeah, but you also have members that are not still not taking lunch or taking less than an hour of lunch. They're getting caught every day with that. I don't understand why they don't want to take a lunch. I'm assuming that's the people that's running and getting off at 12, 1 o'clock, so or 2 o'clock.
Well, you got to take lunch, and now they are bringing guys into the office for not taking lunch, and they're giving you warning letters for not taking lunch. It's labor law.
Yeah.
It's the law that you have to take lunch within the third or fifth hour. The company is now breaking balls with that because of the fact that, they want to get rid of people. They want to
Right.
they want to look for excuses to get rid of you, and you're going to give them excuses to put you in that and stress you out, bring you in the office, stress you out, stress you out, and stress you out. That's what they do. The company wants to stress you out that you get too stressed out and says, fuck it, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a win-win for them. When they stress you out, you get frustrated and you say, fuck it. And once you say, fuck it, the next mistake is going to come with that fuck it. You're going to make another mistake. They're going to get you on that. They're going to pull you in the office and stress you out even more. They stress you out so damn much. And let me tell you something. This job is a hard job. No matter from part-timer is hard. From being a driver is hard. From being a local store is hard. This job is hard, but it's a good paying job. Okay. They pay you good money. And all you have to do in this job is follow the methods and procedures, and you will live all the way. You will go to the finish line in 25 years. So if you think you're taking shortcuts and you think you're gonna get, away with, oh shit, I'm gonna get home early now because of this or that. Yeah, you will get home early, but those shortcuts are deadly. Those shortcuts, those flagging routes, padding routes. Padding routes is big here in Local 804. Padding routes, if you guys don't know what padding route is, I'll tell you what padding routes is. If you're going to a private residence and you have 3 packages for the same person, that's one stop, 3 packages, bang, bang, bangs. Easy as that. That's the methods and procedures. If you go into a private residence and you sheet those 3 packages 3 different times, you're padding your route. And if your overloud is over, because that's supposed to help you. If you're padding your route, it's supposed to get you back early, and it's supposed to get you back with your overloud. Your overloud should be low. If your overloud is high and you're not coming back to the building, that draws the red flag to them. Once it draws the red flag, they start looking into your delivery records from a month, 2 months, 3 months. And if they see that you're padding the route and you're still not coming in and your overloud is sky high and you're still not coming in, that's the red flag. That's when they're going to bring you in the office. They're going to question you, stress you out, and tell you you just lost your job for padding and being dishonest. So don't pad routes. Don't flag routes. If you're not in the front of the location, if you're not at 452, 545 Brush Avenue, ready to do a delivery, if you're not there and you're sheeting the package 10 blocks away saying they're not there or commercial closed, they're gonna look for you. They're gonna see how many times you do it. They're gonna not tell you one. If you did it once, they're gonna let you slip, because if they don't say nothing to you, you're gonna continue doing the same thing. You're gonna continue doing the same thing. And then once they have enough on you, they're gonna bring you in the office, they're gonna question you about it, stress you out, and they're gonna tell you that you are now on a non-working 72 for dishonesty and falsifying documents. So you just follow the methods. It's there. I know people want to get home early. I know it is what it is, but if you do the right thing, you're not going to get home any earlier than you're doing the right way. If you do the methods and procedures the right way, if you do a shortcut, it's going to save you 15 seconds or 20 seconds. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, because that 15 to 20 second that you're trying to cut off your route, it's going to bring you into some trouble. Okay. So you're only going to get home 15 20 minutes earlier than you would have got if you did the route the right way and did the methods and procedures. So it's not worth it. You understand? It's not worth losing your job for saving 15 minutes to get to your house. So Jamie, what are the things that's happening in Forster? Is any particular discipline that's going on in Forster? I know they're going hardcore on attendance.
Well, in my center, being that I'm attached to Forster, but I'm across the street. But in my center, we're having nonsense. We're having guys not doing the dyad training because they're not coming to the PCM, so they don't hear that they have to do the dyad training. You have attendance. A lot of guys are already out of their OPH and sick days. They're already out of it because of the company asking them if they want to take the day, and they're taking the day. So they're already out of that. You having guys misdelivering packages. They be on one block and the package belongs to another block. That's because they're not looking at the big label. They're looking at the smart label. And, a lot of times you have two different, the smart label might be the wrong smart label. So they're delivering off of that instead of the big label, and they're misdelivering. Have guys missing pickups is a big issue. I don't understand. They just not doing the pickups or
Right,
not
for the
going.
scheduled pickup, you have
Yeah,
15 minutes before the pickup and 15 minutes after. I mean, it's just the
they're
method.
not going. They're going when they want to go.
That's that's just bringing, the red flag and the target on your back, because now they're looking for stupid shit like that. Before you could be the best driver in the world, the best
Mhm.
fast driver that you doing. They loved your numbers, but now they just looking for stuff that for you to fail. And if you give it to them, they're gonna bring you in the office, stress you out. You're gonna be stressed out of that. You're in the office. I mean, I had a guy that never been into the office, ever been into the office, did nothing but favors for this company. They asked him, "Yeah, I need you to help this guy." No problem, no problem. Finally, they pull him into the office and gave him a warning letter for not showing for his attendance, and he went fucking AWOL. I thought he was gonna fucking, I can't believe that I had a fucking warning letter. Fuck this company. I said, whoa, wait a minute. You did a lot of things for this company, and this is how they pay you back, by giving you a warning letter. I said, this is what management, they're not your friends. You did a lot, and I know you did a lot of favors for them. And I know that uh you helped a lot of people out when they needed you to help them out. And then now you're going, I mean, this guy really thought I felt like he was being terminated the way he was acting. He went ballistic on a warning letter, and I had to explain to him the warning letter is good for 9 months. If you don't do the same thing in 9 months, it goes away. It might come back later on in 25 years. But don't worry, I'm gonna rebuttal it. Then he's like, "What the fuck is rebuttal?" I said, "First of all, you've never been into discipline, so that's the way it works." I couldn't believe how crazy he went over a warning letter, and I
Oh,
keep.
so Hector,
Mhm.
I have a guy with over 25 years that got a warning letter. Exactly what you said. He got the warning. That was when they were sending it at home. And he read that line that the next time it can lead up to discipline or whatever. He said,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I'm going to be fired the next time. How could you do this? How could you let them do this? Oh my God. He was just like how you would say it. He went crazy,
And
man.
the thing is that these guys, they blame the union right away. What are you union doing? What is the union going to
Exactly.
do for me? What is the union doing about this? And I'm going to tell you straight up. And I keep telling you in all my shows, the one that brings you into the office is the guy in the mirror. That's the guy. If you're doing stupid shit that's not following the message, that's the guy. The union is there to make sure that they don't violate your rights and violate the contract. As far as you going into the office for not following the method and procedures and doing something on your own and thinking that you're going to cut 15 seconds out of your day, that's the guy you got to blame, the guy in the mirror. That's the one who protects your job. I can't protect your job. Only you can protect your job, because I'm not with you 24/7. I'm not with you the 10 hours that you're working a day. I'm not holding your hand. You are the responsible person that does make decisions, and then those decisions might be good, might be bad, but you're the one who pays. You're the one who's got to deal with that situation. Not I, not the union. The union has nothing to do with that. We're there to make sure they don't violate your rights and violate the contract when you committed those discipline actions. So it's all on you. Don't blame the shop steward. Don't blame the BA. Don't blame the president of the local. Don't blame Sean O'Brien. They have nothing to do with what you has done, what you've been doing. So stop blaming the union that it's what they're gonna do, how they're gonna fix it. No, it's for you to fix it. It's for you to fix it. We're gonna try our best to keep your job. We're gonna, depending on what you did and how you did it, that's what we do. We have a good panel team in Local 804 that does everything. We do panel preps to prep you for the arbitration. We do everything, but it's you, the member, that keeps your job by the way you do things and the way you say things and the way you admit to things. I always tell someone, I can fight the truth, but I can never fight the lie. So if you're lying to me and you're lying to the company, it's not gonna fucking work. We're gonna lose. We're going to lose. So I always tell my shop stewards to make sure they tell the members before they go into that office to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. We can fight the truth. We cannot fight a lie.
Right.
Guys, Richie, Queens. They say the universe, the center of the universe, but that's full of shit. They not the center. They the center full of shit. In Flushing, Queens, right? Richie, what's going on? What kind of discipline you guys are getting down there in Queens? Because you're the shop steward there, aren't you? Yeah. How about unmuting yourself? Yeah, you wouldn't know how to do that because you're from the center. Oh, there you go. He put out his middle finger. What's up, Rich? What kind of stories you got over there? The discipline, because this is all about discipline and trying to fix the behavior, so everyone could be aware of what they're looking for the company right now as far as discipline.
Like you said, it's hunting season, so you got to be smart. You got to come to work every day. You got to be on time. You have to scan every package that's in your truck, obviously. If it's an off route, whatever, you got to scan it. Just scan everything. You go out on a Monday with 10 air and you're not going to make it. What do you got to do? You tell them. Put it on them. Very simple. Put it on them. Everything in this job is cover your ass and put it on them. If you got a problem, let them know. Let me know. I'd say probably 75% of my discipline is cover drivers. It's cover drivers go out there. It's the same as every other building. You got commercial in your 7,000, 8,000 section. Go through your load, do your commercial, find the commercial, send the message. But take your lunch. I got same thing like you just were going through with Jamie. I had a guy that they could only go back six months on the telematics. For over 6 months, he was driving way off his route, and he was an hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes every day. And they put him on a non-working 72. I got him he's back to work, time served, 2 days. I got him 2 days suspension. That to me was
2 days suspension for what? For attendance?
No, for extending his lunch.
Extending his lunch, yes. That's pretty good that you got him a 2 day suspension, because they probably backtrack and see how many times he extended his lunch, and they'll make it a case that they won't take a 2 day suspension. They'll take a longer suspension. You know,
I've never taken discipline on anybody for extending a lunch. I've talked to the guy, they fix it, and then it's fixed. But
so
this guy,
this particular guy already was talked to, and he
wasn't talked to. He was just, he didn't know the procedure. He just, I didn't know. And every day he would finish his last stop, drive, whatever, like 10, 15 minutes, get to the spot, take his full hour, drive back 10 to 15 minutes. And they just stumbled upon it. They didn't know that this guy was doing this for over 6 months. that they could go back. And, you know, they calculated, yo, it's $5,000 that he stole from us. How are we going to get it back? I said, that's not my problem.
You're
If
supposed
you
to-
need, if you need
Company-
me, if you need me to fix the guy, tell me. I'll tell the guy what to do. The lunch procedure. I send out messages every couple days on lunch procedure, and he just didn't know the lunch
Bunch of
procedure.
fucking assholes.
Anyway, you know, discipline is on a rise here in local 84. I don't know about local 177. Marlon, you from 177. How's across the river? How's that discipline going on over there? Is the same thing?
In my building and a couple buildings that people I talk to, it has not yet been that bad.
Wow.
They are looking, but they're actually being, I'm gonna say they're being okay with it. They are trying to pin us together though a little bit by asking, the old timers to take a day, take a layoff, whatever. That way the young guys could work. That's how they're trying to divide us here. Almost every PCM, not every PCM, but weekly, they're saying, hey, we don't have a lot of work. If you older drivers want to take the layoff, that way these young guys could work and whatever, they're putting it on us. And I tell them all the time, well, don't over dispatch then. Back in the day, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, everybody was dispatch 8, so everybody could work. That's when the company and hourlies work together. There's none of that anymore.
And that's what I've been telling like the center managers being when they do layoffs. I said, dude, you got enough work there to give to the layoff to the guys instead of laying them off, because you got guys working 10 to 11 hours a day. They could split those routes that are doing 10 to 13 hours a day, split them and break them down and make other routes, and then you won't have no layoffs and just have everybody on an 8-hour 8-hour low every day, every 8-hour low. Now the manager always say, guys, we give them the 8-hour lows. We even plan even lower than 8 hours, but the guys are coming in at 10 o'clock at night. Now watch it, guys, because now they're going to be looking at very carefully of they planning their day to give you a 7-hour low, and you're coming in at 10 o'clock at night. You got to be very careful, because what they doing is giving you a planned day of 7 hours. So their computer saying, we're going to put in 130 stops on you. It's going to plan you out that you do it in 7 hours, including lunch. And you're taking your time, and you're doing whatever you're doing to come in at 10 o'clock versus, and then your overload is 3 hours and 4 hours overload. And then this is where they're going to catch you, because they're going to continue giving you a plan of 7.5 hours or 8 hours, or whatever the case may be. And then you're going to continue doing what you're doing to get your overtime or whatever the case may be. They're going to start looking at gaps. If you got gaps and you putting down that you're there and you do a pickup, you picking up zero packages, but you're there for a half an hour, they're going to get you on that. Watch it, man. They looking for stuff like that, and you got to go ahead, Marlon. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. It seems like you're talking about me right there.
Really? I don't know nothing about you.
No, but so I gotta tell everybody, and I'm gonna disagree respectfully with a previous statement that you said. It's a hard job, but it's a piece of cake if you do it the right way and you do their methods, like you said.
Yeah. So what are you disagreeing on?
Yeah, well, because it's not a hard job, but I'm here now 31 years, so I'm in a different perspective. I was that guy that they would bring in and harass and pick you apart on the things that you did to make the day better, for them and make the day better for you. Fuck that. That's out the window.
Yeah.
You met them to death.
When I say hard, it's physically hard.
No, right, but it's.
I mean, it's a toll. I mean, you've been 31 years, you say?
Yep.
Okay.
I never been out on comp or never missed a day due to injury or anything.
Good for you, because you did everything the right way, correct?
Yeah, I'm burning the wheels of the hand truck.
And you know what? But sometimes these guys, they do the things the right way and they just get injured. You know,
Right.
sometimes
True.
the boxes could say they 5 pounds, and then when they lift it up, it's 30 pounds. You know, and you don't,
Absolutely.
you know, that's why they want you to do, you know, the steps by, you know, bend the knees, you know, feel the
Test that
box.
weight shifting content.
Exactly.
Yes. 8
But
keys of lifting and
sometimes that,
rowing.
you know, you get a box that says 5 pounds and it's 35 to 40 pounds. You get on it, you know, it's unexpected. So you could get hurt that way. And also, you know, walking in the street, you'd never know if you're gonna be walking into a pothole or in the rain or whatever the case, you know, shit happens. It is, I feel is a hard job because the preloaders I feel is a hard job. They loading up 4 to 5 carts early
Absolutely.
in the morning. They you know, and then the drivers got to drive, you know, and they got to deal with the traffic, deal with people out there, and you know, is I believe it's a hard, but it's a good job. Um,
Absolutely.
so it is what it is. Anyway, Marie didn't say shit because there was no questions asked this time. I mean, she's fired. I mean, what am I gonna pay her for? To sit here and freaking look pretty? What the hell? But anyway, they had a question last week, and I want to answer it right now. The last week's question was from Paris that she said that her new supervisor, was telling her every time that she has to go to the bathroom, she needs to text him from her phone. And let me tell you something, guys. You don't have to use your phone at all, and you don't have to be texting anyone that you need to go to the bathroom. All you have to do is go to the supervisor closest to you, tell them that you need to use the bathroom, and that's it. It is what it is. You don't have to use your private phone to message them, just like drivers. You don't have to oh my God, Jose's hand is up. You don't have to tell anyone about using your unless they want to pay you, that you know, give you a phone and then you text them with their company phone, that's fine. But you don't have to use your phone to tell them that you're going to the bathroom. You just go to the nearest supervisor. This is preload, I believe, or local sort, and you tell them you go into the bathroom and that's it. It is what it is. Jose, what's up, man? From the West Coast.
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes to everybody. I got a quick story about that. A while back ago, I had a supervisor come up to me after I came back from the restroom, and supervisor's like, "Where'd you go?" I'm like, "What?" It's like, "Where'd you go?" Well, I don't need to tell you where I go. I went to the restroom. And then the supervisor goes, "Well, you need to tell me." I'm like, "I don't need to tell you shit. You know, I don't like this micromanaging. I don't need to tell you anything where I go. It's like it's common courtesy. Like I don't that's it doesn't say that in the contracts. I don't have to tell you anything. If I want to tell you something, I'll tell you something." And on my way to the restroom, I saw my full timer walking by, walking towards me. So I go, "Hey, I'm gonna go use the restroom." What are they gonna say? They can't tell you no. So there he's like, "Okay, whatever. But this supervisor try to, like all soups, they try to establish their authority, whatnot. And it was just funny, like I don't need to tell you if I'm going to rest. If I tell you, it's out of courtesy. If I don't want to tell you, I don't have to tell you anything. And I'm basically going at her. I'm going at her about this issue. And then here comes my full timer to tell me, "Oh yeah, it's my fault. Jose did tell me he was going to the restroom when I passed by him, and he didn't tell his soups his leads." And then here comes the hub manager too to listen to what I'm telling the supervisor, because I guess they want another chismoso. So it's funny. Like, you don't need to tell nobody nothing. You could tell your coworker, be like, "Hey, you know what?" I would tell my coworker, "Hey, you know, I'm gonna use the restroom," so they know, like, okay, you know what, he's on the restroom. It might get a little bit backed up, but we'll be okay.
Yeah, they was
But we don't need to tell management anything. If that's it's courtesy, but if I don't want to be courteous, it is what it is, dog. As long as I tell a coworker, "Hey, man, I'm going to the restroom," or they tell me, we pick up the pace. We pick up each other's slack, but we don't
well, I
need to
don't
tell
know.
management
I
nothing.
don't know on the West Coast how it's done, but here in the East Coast, you can't just pick up and leave your area and just leave it there by itself. you have to tell a supervisor. But this person, I guess, was asking the question of she have to use her cell phone to text the supervisor about her going
Unless they're
to
going to
restaurant.
unless they're going to compensate you on your phone bill for that
Exactly.
communication. No.
Exactly. They don't need to use their cell phones to tell them anything. You go up to the supervisor and tell them that you need to go to the bathroom, and that's it. And you go to the bathroom. You at least you let them know so they could cover that area, because the supervisors are allowed to cover a bathroom break. Some BAs or stewards will see a supervisor working, and the first question you have to ask them is, what are you doing? Why are you working? And they have to explain that someone went on break and they covering for that break, which don't become a grievance. Um, we got to follow the grievance procedure. If you see a supervisor working, you just can't write a grievance because you saw a supervisor working. You actually have to go to that supervisor and say to them, hey, why are you working? And they have to explain to you why you work. And if they don't give you a good explanation, if they tell you, hey, don't worry what I'm doing, then you put in the grievance. As simple as that. So I have a couple of questions that I'm going to put Marie to work right now. Jamie, you're fired. You have a female here now. So can you watch, because Jamie was just going to try to talk to you as soon as he hears your voice.
That's okay. Let Jamie talk.
Okay, so what do we
Right.
got here?
So you do have an older question on Mixler chat, which is interesting. Someone posted wanting to understand the process for obtaining a copy of their grievances. So the question here is written as such: have you ever heard of having to get permission to get a copy of your grievances? He had to send an email to his local asking for a copy of the grievance, and then they told him he had to go through the president to get permission in order to have those grievances sent to him.
That's bullshit. Because if you want a copy of your grievances, all you have to do is ask the shop steward. If you put it in, you can ask your business agent. You don't have to go to the president of the local to ask for a copy of your grievance. They have to give you the copy of the grievances. You demand your copy of the grievances. But anybody that's putting in grievances, I suggest that you make your own copy, and then you give the hard copy to the shop steward or the BA.
Exactly.
You keep your copy for yourself. And that way you have a record of it and what day you hand it, because you're going to write down the date you handed that grievance to your shop steward or your business agent, so you can have a record file, because it's 10 days and you got to find out what's going on with that grievance. So if you didn't do that in the beginning by making your own copy of your grievance, you can always go to the union hall and get a copy yourself, because once they put it into arbitration, it's emails everywhere. They can email it to you. They can email you the docket number. You get a docket number when they put in the grievance for arbitration. That docket number is going to be your docket number with all the grievances. So all you have to do is say, what's going on with my docket number? And they have to give you that information. Though the union hall works for the members. So if you have a grievance that you want to know about that you put in a long time ago, you have the right to that grievance. It's got to be in there. And if they're not following the process, you can put what's the worst thing you could put? You could put labor law into you, huh?
No, I'm speaking to myself. Sorry.
You can file an NRB charge of that grievance. You can call the NRB and you can say that your union is not following up on your grievances. They're not following the grievance procedures for you. And you could put those charges against the union if you feel that they're not following the protocol of filing grievances. You have that right. Listen, I had a lot of people that filed NRB charges against me because they felt their grievance wasn't being heard. The grievance I file, and I'm totally legit. All you have to do is call me and I'll give you the file number, the docket number, the copy of the grievance. I have no problem with that. But when you go around the whole system and then you put in NRB charges, you're only going to look like a fool, because when NRB charges come towards the hall, we get it. we send all the copies of all your grievance from years, all your grievance and what docket numbers, and then the NRE will send a letter, like I just got a sent letter that they withdraw the NRE charges because we followed. It's some locals, locals, the business agents and the executive board, they do a lousy job in your grievances. And you have the right to go into NRB and put some labor charges on the local that your grievances are not being proceed. So I tell all the business agents and myself, I mean, I'm real good with what I do with my grievances. I record all my grievances. I got grievances that are numbered from 2,000, 3,000 numbers because I put every grievance into the computer. And when I file it, when I received it, and when I get the docket number. So all you have to do is call me. I just got to pull up your name. My girl made a spreadsheet for me, and all I have to do is pull up your name, all your grievances come up, your docket numbers and everything. And that's what the union should be doing for your grievances. So any more questions, Marie? I hope I answered your questions about the grievance procedures. And I'm sorry that you're going through what you're going through, but you have the right to go into the local union hall and get everything that you need. All right, it's past 12. It's 12 minutes past 4 o'clock here on the What the Heck Show. Jose, do you have a going out message for the members that are listening?
Oh,
Going out, oops. A going out message.
Going out. Hold up. Marie's got something to say. What's going on?
Oh, go ahead.
Yep.
all right. You do have it looks like a statement question here from Keith Talarigo. He says, hey, Hector, from a part-timer standpoint, how come when it comes to bidding on a full-time inside the building job, part-timers are on the bottom of the barrel when it comes to being offered that position?
A full-time position?
Yes.
Okay. So preload has the right, the part-timers have the right for a full-time position, depending on what position is going to be in there. Like if a guy is going in for a driver's job, preload, the part-timers have the right to go into a full-time position. Sometimes, the job of the full-time comes up and you don't have a license, and that's why you can't bid on it. But the part-timers have every right to go for a full-time position. They are the first choice to go into a full-time position. That's what the company always try to play around with that. But the union strictly says that if it's a full-time position opening up for a part-timer, okay? So yes, here in local 804, I don't know what local you're in. Maybe you're in my local, I don't know. And if it's being done a different way, you need to confront your business agent. But a part-time has the first preference in going into full-time first. So that was local 429. I don't know where that is. I don't know how they work, how your supplement works, and your international, the international is the same as everyone, but your supplement might be different. But here in local 804, part-timers get the first preference to go into full-time. Hopefully I answer your question. What's up, Jose? Jose.
Sorry, no, I was just trying to look where Teamster local.
Okay, go ahead.
I was trying to see where local 422 is at. But I mean,
429. It's local 429.
Oh, 429. My bad. I thought it was 422. My bad. I just they would have to look in their supplements. You know what I mean? Because in my supplements, yes, first part-timers get first crack at when it comes to driving positions, but when it comes to combo positions or a full-time inside job, it's a whole different matter. You go to existing combo people first for a combo job, and then drivers with I think 15 years or 15 to 20 years senior. I think 15 years seniority, combination of driving and they're part-time, and then last it's the part-timers. So that local is in Pennsylvania, so they'll have to it's in Wyoming. Okay, Wyoming, no, yeah, in Pennsylvania. So
No,
they
no,
have
it's in
to,
Reading, Pennsylvania.
yeah, so they have to go on, they have to go to their supplement and see how it's structured right there, you know. But yeah, it's not a good shake to me. I wish I heard you earlier, you know, talking about the, you know, the how this company is still being shitty. You know, we just came out of a contract negotiations. A lot of things that you were expressing should have been dealt right there, and but they weren't. You know, and I think one of them was you should give part timers the chance. Like if I have more time, more seniority than the driver that has, for example, 18 years. You know, seven with the fuck 7 in the hub, 11 driving. Then my seniority should prevail, but we don't. We have this structure, you know, where part timers are on the bottom, then it goes to drivers, then it goes to combo. You know, it has to be straight up seniority.
Yeah, that
Seniority
sucks.
needs to seniority needs to be respected. You know what I mean? Like we have these structures, and I'm sure my supplement is not alone in this. I'm sure there's other supplements that have this that have this structure in place where it just fucks over the part timers.
Well, the part timers can't bid on a full time the like a clerk. If a clerk is going, if his clerk job comes up, um, they can they cannot. If they have the seniority, they could. I don't know how the clerk. It's always by seniority here in Local 804. But if it's an inside job that's coming up as a full-time inside, part-timers have the right to bid on that right away. If a air driver position comes up, they have the right to bid on that. If they have the to go into a full-time driver, they have the right to do that also. They have the right to bid on 22-3 combo helper positions. They have the right to bid on a full-time helper's position. They have the right if it's nothing to do with a driver's license. If you don't, because some of them, you know, they've been here for years and they want to bid on a full-time job, but some of the full-time jobs are always driving job. They always cannot bid for a driving job. Marie's got something else. What's going on? Hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Keith just posted another statement that he has 11 years inside the building. So it looks like he has that seniority. He says a driver has 2 years on the road and wants to get off the road. They both signed the full-time inside job list. So he would get the job before him.
Wow. Not here. That wouldn't be here in 804. The inside guy will definitely get the full-time position because the driver already has a full-time position. He's not well, he's bidding into another full-time position. Meanwhile, the part-timers are looking for a full-time position. So here in Local 804, we don't do that. You know, if a part-time is looking for a full-time position, he has the first bid for that. You can't take a driver that's already has a full-time position to go into a different job for a full-time position. Now, if a driver is bidding on a clerk's job, and let me tell you that here in Local 804 is two reserve positions, is a porter and a car washer. Those are two reserve positions. So if a driver that has 25 years or 22 years or 18 years or whatever the case may be, and he has the seniority to go into those reserve jobs because he wants to get off the truck because it's too much work for him and he wants a easier job. Those reserve jobs are get bidded from to the drivers, not a part-timer. A part-timer has every right to go in from part-time to full-time with depending on the position. Okay. So if a clerk's job comes up and that's, you know, it comes up and it's going to be by seniority because you're going to have these guys that have 25 years on the job and they're going to want to do a clerk job because they want to get off the truck. They have the right for their seniority to bid on that seniority clerk's job. But when it comes down to a part-timer going into full-time for a 22-3 combo, a full-timer, a driver's job, that's how it works. So I hope I answer your question. If you have any more questions, you can always send at the whattheheckshow@aol.com, and we can then I can get people to answer those questions if I can't answer. Marie, you have anything else? Jamie, you got anything else? Well, who's
No, sir.
all right, everybody's good. So I want to thank everyone for listening to the What the Heck Show here on Union Power Radio. I want to thank everyone that was on the panel. Marlon from 177, Jose from the West Coast. I want to thank all of you for listening to the What the Heck Show. It will be on, if you see it, it's going to be on podcast, Spotify, all that. It's also recorded on the reel on the Mixler. So as soon as we get off here, it's going to go right on the reel, so you can listen to whatever you miss in the earlier show. I want to thank Marie for hanging out with me here on Union Power Radio, answering all those questions. She's going to hopefully do it again. And will you be here again?
We will.
You will?
I will
Okay.
be, yeah.
She will be here again to answer any questions. If you have any questions, now I have someone that will read them out and we'll answer them as best as we can. If we can't, I'll get you the answer. Thank you for listening to the What the Heck Show here on Union Power Radio. Thanks, Marlon, for coming on to the What the Heck Show here on Union Power Radio. Peace out.
Thank you for having me.
Great week, guys, and enjoy. We'll see you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks here on Union Power Radio. Peace.
Peace out.